And it started all over again that second practice, and you know, just went back and forth between me and him. You know, he would just ride slow, I couldn't get away from him, and A-Mate said you're not allowed to cut the track, and you know, I just had to ride slow around the track. And
I ended up fighting. Ryan was just there, and then I don't know, the A-Mate wasn't that pumped. I mean, I'm just happy that I get to race, pretty much. I mean, I wasn't even going to be able to race. I have 40th gate pick, which is kind of a bummer, but he's just got someone that's as fast as him now, and I'm not really sure that he knows how to handle it, because, I mean, he's pretty much been the fastest guy the whole time, so hopefully I can just take it over.
Time to go racing, moto number 1. Josh Grant on the Honda number 24 gets the whole shot, and he's got Ben Townley right on his tailpipe on the Kawasaki number 101, the Monster Pro Circuit machine.
But it looks like everybody gets through pretty clean. This first turn area, the start's a little short. The first turn usually has pretty good pileups, but right now, everybody's on 2 wheels.
Charging down this very tricky, oh, down goes Townley. These guys are going. Oh, and another rider down. Oh, that's Gosler. That's Chris Gosler.
Today, and right now he's coming out swinging one more time and showing just why he's got that number 1 plate on his bike.
And he's got a lot of speed coming down the hill, and Villopoto comes along the outside to take the spot and the lead away from Josh Grant.
What a nice line that was. Just talk about carrying some momentum.
Villopoto, he didn't have the lead when the gate dropped, but he's got it now, taking it away from Josh Grant. Oh, down goes Villopoto, crashing out of the lead.
And it looked like Villopoto just got a little anxious there with this turn, and Villopoto is going to have to get past Grant, Dungey, and the 101 of Ben Townley. Right now, we've got an awesome race brewing here. Look how close all top 4 riders are.
Not only how close, but how fast. These 4 youngsters are incredibly talented.
Well, and Dungey right here, you know, is kind of considered a rookie, but man, he's holding up to the pressure really well. And you can see Townley trying to stay high. And Villopoto going around the outside again.
Didn't get the pass completed there, but now, can he do it in this downhill section? Dungey just in front of them, and Villopoto still working the inside on Townley.
And he picks off Dungey now. Going up the hill. A lot of roost coming off the back of those bikes. That's why the riders are going left and right. Everyone's trying to stay out of that roost, keep their goggles clean, because it's a long moto off rhythm. Townley trying a different line than Grant, trying to make something happen.
Seems like Villopoto struggling to get back up into this now. He had made a bunch of runs at Townley, and now he seems to have settled back into 4th there.
Well, I think he's going to have to let his heart rate come down. He's already had a pretty exciting race up to this point where he's passed for the lead, fallen down, and having to get back on again.
Problems for Dungey.
Brewing as we speak.
Well, I think it's pretty much what we expected out of the Motocross Lights class this year. So much young talent in the Lights division, and Townley comes up inside of Grant, takes the lead away. Who has slipped back a little bit when Ryan made a bit of a bobble. Boy, look at the speed Villopoto carries through there, using every inch of the racetrack. He's up to 2nd now.
And once again, use that momentum and taking an outside line, just carrying more speed. That is unbelievable, because typically you don't see riders make a pass on the outside like that, but Villopoto he is dialed in right now and battling it out once again. Both of our Lights Supercross champions.
Townley on the 101 won the East Coast Championship, Villopoto the West, and they're side by side for the lead here at Hangtown. The final lap of moto number 1, and Ryan Villopoto came out of the gate, didn't have the lead, ran Josh Grant down, took it away, then had a big bobble, crashed, fell all the way back to 4th, worked his way past Dungey, Grant, and Townley to take the lead. Doesn't seem to be afraid of racing Villopoto at all. He's going to finish in 2nd. But this first moto is a big statement for Ryan Villopoto.
Well, I think it's a big statement for Ben Townley, because he stayed right in there. We're on this last lap. He's only a second and a half off right now. He's the successful Summer Motocross Championship.
Well, we know what you're going to have to do to win this championship and to win moto number 2 here in Hangtown, and that's going to be keep this guy behind you, which apparently is going to be a tough thing to do this season. As Villopoto has got a ton of speed and 1 win already on the outdoor season. He takes Moto number 1 here in Hangtown. We're coming back with lots more racing, the Motocross Lights class. From behind, here's Moto number 2. The view from our Honda Skycam as everybody storms into turn number 1, and not everybody making it through there, but coming out with the whole shot, the 101, the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki of Ben Townley.
Time in the morning in qualifying practice, and that's how they're seated in both motos. So the finish in the first moto has no effect on your lineup for the second moto.
Now the top 4 in our finishing of Moto number 1 are all running 1, 2, 3, and 4 again in Moto number 2, but not in the same order. It's Townley with the lead. Here comes Villopoto up alongside Dungey to take away second, and Josh Grant is behind them in 4th.
For the last 6 months. Now you come to this first round where the track is really fast, it's really hard. It seems to be, tough on your hands. Lot of wear and tear on the body, and it takes them a couple of rounds to really get the body fit. Motocross being the original sport that came over from Europe, but at this time of season, we really see who's got the legs. And what I mean by that is we'll see who's been doing their cycling, who's been doing their lifting, their running, because at the end of this second moto, we're going to see who the strongest man is.
This big drop, well, you can see how hard they are on the brakes and going through those bumps and everything. Jeff, that is such a tough section.
It definitely is, but I love when we come to these outdoor motocross of our industry. This is the type of track that you ride. So Supercross being a little specialty professional version.
Down goes Villopoto again. He fell in Moto 1, came back in 1. He's back up here in Moto number 2. Here's your battle for second place, and coming down the hill with a ton of momentum and taking the position away is Ryan Villopoto.
That was a pretty aggressive move that Villopoto made there, and we've seen a lot of riders fall down in that turn earlier today, but man, he came down there, the bike was swapping left to right. You can see in the background, that's the turn where he made the pass. There's about 10 different lines there. Villopoto have been hot all day, all season for that matter. But you know what, right now, it looks like Townley is extremely comfortable. And right here, he's pulled a couple seconds out on Villopoto. And what a great feeling this has got to be to come out here and dominate the second moto of the opening round. Woo!
There it is, checkered flag. He coasts across, takes the win. He knows. Boy, we talked about Ryan Villopoto making a statement in Moto number 1. That's an even bigger statement if you can come out of here with the overall win, and Villopoto is second. We'll come back to talk to him.
Team halfway through there.
Yeah, I was fighting it big time, and I was just trying to look for good lines, and it seemed like wherever I went, I wasn't, wasn't on it, and I could just see Ben inching away once I got back up and I could see him, just inching away, and I tried to, look for some different lines, and, nothing happened, and, there's nothing really I can do. I just got to thank the team for all the effort they put in.
Jitters out of the way.
Yeah, definitely. It's start of the championship, and I'm heading into the outdoor championship, last year, and just get one, under my belt, and like I said, I was going to come out swinging this time. We made a few changes, and felt really good. Got the whole shot, man. Pro Circuit, Monster Energy bikes, so Kawasaki's are awesome out there, and Ryan rode a good race, but I managed to take it, and I think it's going to be a pretty long summer.
Helmet cam as we get set to drop the gate on Moto 1. Renner gets forced way to the outside. It's going to be Ryan Dungey on the Makita Suzuki getting the progressive direct hole shot.
And that's how you want to start today right there. There's a lot of roost here comes off the bike as we have a couple of guys going down. And Josh Grant takes the lead. And Townley on the right side of your screen goes down. Pretty good chance that he's front brake. Might have got caught on another rider. And there's so many lines in this track. You can see how deep the rut's there on the inside. And Ralph, what you have to do here at Mount Morris is you have to have proper balance, and you have to be very patient going through the ruts and the turns.
Villopoto
Well, he might get a signal from the team or from his personal mechanic that Townley's out, but more than likely, they're just going to be giving him signals, giving him encouragement, and what he knows that he has to do is go get that 25 points that Villopoto didn't really have the energy that he had at the beginning of the first moto. So right now he needs to try to get past these riders clean like he did right now, save some energy for the second moto because he just may need it.
Away, but the battle here for third is a good one. Here comes Villopoto now. If he can't get the lead on the ground, taking it, or the position in the ground, take it in the air. That's one thing Villopoto is showing. He's riding very aggressively, but he's not making a lot of terrible choices when and where to pass. He waits, gets an opening like that, and just continues to work it. And now he's got the position. He's up to third.
His mechanic on the pit board that the 101 here of Townley is way back out of position and needs that 25 points to gain the points lead back in the championship.
But he's inside the top 20, so he's back into the point scoring positions now. Lawrence and Villopoto. And Lawrence said the one thing he wanted to do was stay away from Villopoto. Well, guess what? Here he is.
And Villopoto gets the inside line, carried that momentum on the outside. Nice move, but these guys are rolling right now. These guys are charging hard.
Waiting for Josh Grant. There it is, and he wins his first moto of 2007. And he'll get ready to chase after that elusive overall victory. Here's a look at our Toyota results. Dungey dropped all the way back to fourth, Weimer to fifth. Ready for moto number 2. It looks like Josh Grant again, Jeff. Moto number 1, Townley fell, went all the way to 40th, worked his way back to 10th. An impressive ride, but now challenging for a win as he already takes away second place here compared to what we saw in the last round at Hangtown.
Well, it's clay, and we've had quite a bit of moisture on it earlier, but now it's dried out. So underneath, there's a lot of moisture. They've actually worked on the track here for the second moto, smoothed out some of the spots, makes another turn, so that's like a double apex rut, some of the most technical parts of motocross.
And Townley for the lead. He's got it. Townley 10th in moto number 1, leading here in moto number 2. Moto really stepping up the pressure now.
Trying anything that he can. He tries the outside. Oh, and you notice Grant actually goes inside of the track markers.
Pretty soon he's going to have to quit being patient and just try to force the issue.
Notice Villopoto trying to come up the inside. Nice move.
Back to Ben Townley. Final lap, just one to go, and what a difference this lap is from, or this moto I should say, from the first one. And Townley has really become Mr. Moto number 2 so far this year. Looks like he's going to win the first 2 second motos of the year. His second moto win of the 2007 season comes in moto number 2 here at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Number 2. Once again, Ben Townley puts together a good run in the second moto of the day.
No, not at all. I'd hoped to take 2 of those first. You know, this straight really suited me. You know, I first time here, and I just had a great time and practice yesterday and this morning. I was loving it, and man, I went down on the start in that first one. To get on the podium, you know, it's awesome.
You know, he's really strong. You know, he works with Eldon and Ricky, so. You know, I knew it was going to be hard coming into the season. It's going to be hard to beat him. And, you know, it's showing. You know, he's riding fast.
Taking that overall, that's a great feeling.
And here's a look at the points. And Ryan Villopoto extends his lead over Ben Townley.
Line going out of his gate. Probably preferred line is a little bit over to the right.
It's going down all over the place. Pavlos on the KTM, number 577. Chris Pugrab on the 83. Got a very good start.
Local guy here from New England. Like I said, a little local knowledge. I'm sure he's taken plenty of laps here at Southwick.
Here comes Townley inside of Davalos. And now the Pro Circuit Kawasaki riders run 1 and 2. Villopoto out front in a good size lead already.
Patient with these riders. It looked like he was using too much energy to make those passes.
No problems out front for Ryan Villopoto, the young rider out of the state of Washington, having a very smooth afternoon here in Southwick.
Wow, look at the lead he has. That about 4 or 5 seconds on Townley right now. But this is a great ride for Townley also, considering that he came here expecting something. Ryan Villopoto definitely has it.
Now we'll see if he can put it all together with Moto number 2 as well and take the overall, something he has not been able to do here so far this season.
You know, Donations win last year, all of that, and then coming out to the first 2 rounds where you think you're just going to smoke everybody and being close to the win but not actually getting it, pretty frustrating. But there's a reason he's got that #1 plate on his bike, and that's because he knows what hard work to do and he gets it done.
Ryan Villopoto working his way to the checkered flag. He'll take Moto number 1 here at Southwick.
So he's going to have to do something special off the gate if he's going to grab that whole shot.
He's going to tuck in behind Billy Laninovich. Ground as they work their way through the first couple of corners. It looks like Ryan Dungey out front.
Ryan Dungey, our fast learner of the year. It seems like it doesn't take him long, whether it was in Supercross or now in motocross, to pick up on some things. And maybe his trainer Johnny O'Mara said, hey, back in 1984, this is how I did it. Yeah, Johnny O, definitely one of the legends of our sport, now working with Ryan Dungey on the training side and also the mental side. So we'll put some great things out of him this season.
Well, and mental confidence is a huge part of going fast in the sand, too, as we see, because you can see that thing really sat up and came straight off the corner while everybody else went way wide, chewing up more dirt, spending more time before they got straightened out.
On the foam venting on the goggles to put baby oil on there, and it kind of acts like a filter oil, if you will, and keeps the sand out.
Townley not bothered by the sand at all. He is coming hard after Ryan Dungey. Townley on the green 101, the Kawasaki rider, trying to get through the inside. There, he's going to get the pass done.
I love that synchronicity there over that sand tabletop, and that's actually.
Oh, and Dungey's right back.
Actually, the fast line, I guess, is what I should have said. And Dungey and Townley both first time here at an AMA National.
Well, now Ryan Villopoto is going to get into this fight. It's going to be a 3-rider battle for the lead. Townley around the outside. Wow! Just giving it everything he's got.
Guys definitely took the energy pill in between motos.
Dungey tries to square the corner back up. Tries to get back inside of him. Townley takes the lead. Villopoto continues to close.
Oh, and you know that Ryan Villopoto wants a piece of this action too, but he's back there. He gets a chance to watch which one of the lines was successful on each part of the track here, so he's actually at an advantage.
Rides with a tremendous amount of confidence, does young Ryan Dungey. Villopoto comes right up the inside of him. Inside Jeff Emig and Aaron Bates covering the action down along the racetrack for us today. The Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki teammates of Ben Townley on the 101 and Ryan Villopoto on the #1, battling it out. And Villopoto to the inside to take the lead for the first time here in Moto #2.
And that has been Villopoto's MO all season, is outside, carrying a lot of momentum, really using the speed.
Townley might have had a bit of an issue there. He seemed to slow up pretty good.
Well, he's
right over the rear wheel. Back to the leaders.
Well, we'll see if Townley can pick up on some lines here. It seemed like he was pretty fast there in the first couple laps. Villopoto charging real hard. You see Townley using the outside this time. Last lap through here, when Villopoto passed him, Townley went to the inside. So Smart racer's always going to try to remember what happened last lap.
I was wondering if Townley maybe was just getting a little tired because he seems to be just making more mistakes. Oh, it's Villopoto with the mistake here.
Ryan Villopoto going down in that tight left-handed turn.
For sure.
Not sure what he did. He looked pretty comfortable coming in. You see Townley having to...
But he does gain the lead.
Yeah, Villopoto's lucky that was his teammate there next to him and not one of his arch rivals. He would have ran right over him.
And now Villopoto challenges Dungey.
Here.
Up over the big jumps, and Villopoto takes the lead away now. And Dungey finds himself back to third. One good thing for Villopoto is he won't lose any points.
Yeah, but I think at this point for Villopoto, it's a pride thing. I think he wants to win that overall. Right now, you know, it's all fine and dandy inside of the team truck, and yeah, my teammate won, but...
Here early to get some extra practice in the area.
But Ben Townley has had it.
And Ben Townley takes a checkered flag here for moto number 2.
Yeah, you know, the track was tough and it was good. You know, I just got past Ben and then, you know, came upon a lapper really fast and had nowhere to go in the turn. So, well, besides on the ground, and you know, just had to regroup from that, and you know, just had to come through. I think Dungey, and then actually Josh Grant was right on me too when I got up.
Well, as you take a look at the points, it's almost as if this round never took place because it was an 8-point difference between Villopoto and Townley.
Well, yeah, I did. You know, it's we made some good changes between motos, and Bones really hooked me up. I was happy. You know, Ryan rode a good race. You know, he's strong. We're pretty close at the moment, and I've got to just, you know, say he's riding awesome. You know, it's great to race with someone like him.
It is the number 1, the red number plate of Ryan Villopoto out front. The quick starting Kawasaki Pro Circuit Monster Energy man is out in front. He's got
the track has got a lot of off-camber turns. Here, riders earlier today were complaining that the track is actually too smooth, but I think by the end of this moto, we're going to have a very difficult track.
It's Townley in third position.
One of these AMA National Motocross events. The crowd is so excited to see these riders. And right now, a lot of water down on the track. Right now, you get out front, you get to pick your own line.
Behind him, things were happening.
Yeah, you see Josh Grant there in the red. Had second place. Hit some of that wet area, and Townley just gets on the inside. Takes the position for second.
Places. Ahead of them, the top 5 begin with Ryan Dungey, Josh Grant moving forward to Jason Lawrence, Ben Townley, and finally to Ryan Villopoto, who's up front and really having a day of it. 17 seconds ahead of second place, and second place is a guy that's been a winner this season already.
Got this one, Ryan. I'll see you next moto.
And that's what he's been waiting to see. The checkered flag flies for Ryan Villopoto in moto number 1 here at Budds Creek Motocross Park. It was Ryan Villopoto with a commanding victory. When we looked away, he was 12 or 13 seconds ahead of Ben Townley. That they all follow him as they did the first time. The 2 Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki's out front again. It is Villopoto in the lead. Townley had to come up from third to take second last time, but
actually he's going to be taking on quite a bit of roost on the goggles here.
Well, the pace noticeably slower in the early going. They did have a parade lap around the track in order to be able to take a look at where those wet spots might be, but at speed they're still feeling their way around just a little bit. Ryan Villopoto has given up nothing from moto number 1. He had such a flawless moto. It's difficult to believe that he can do this again. Let's stop. Ryan Villopoto looked like a running fullback there. He just went straight for the goal line and was not to be denied. Look at the lead he has over Ben Townley already. He had an 8-second lead on lap number 1, but it was over Josh Grant. And he is showing everybody else out on this racetrack here today at Budds Creek just how to get around this place. This has been a clinic. This young man is putting on a dominating performance. reminiscent of Matt Mladen on his good days, Ricky Carmichael when he was dominating, Jeremy McGrath, even Kenny Coolbeth at Springfield this year ran away from the rest of the field. Ryan Villopoto is doing exactly that. He's 20 seconds ahead of a former world champion, and he's going to take his first overall win of the 2007 season. The defending Motocross Lights champion wins at Budds Creek.
Well, last year, I went 1-1 here, and I guess I've just liked the track. And these last 2 years, it's been really fun. And they had changed up for the donations that's coming, and after the outdoors. So I think the changes were good and bad, but I just can't thank my team enough. Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki and Jeff Fox, mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, trainer Andy Lawrence. Everybody's helped me out a lot.
It's been a while since we saw a command performance like that in the lights division. Here are the points. Of course, Villopoto still atop the table. Townley still second. Ryan Dungey third.
Today. I don't know. I don't feel that much different myself. I think Ryan rode a great race. Got to give credit to him. He got 2 good starts and rode away from us. And just got to say thanks to the whole Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki squad. They're awesome. There's a lot of people involved with us. Scott, Bridgestone, Amp Mobile, Thor, Parts Unlimited. So just thanks to them, and hope you enjoyed the race.
Moto 1, Motocross Lights. Can Villopoto do it?
Confidence is high. He's always been a great starter. Can he duplicate what he did at High Point a month ago, go out and win the first moto and take that overall? This is also part of the Monster Energy Triple Crown.
Leader, it's Josh Grant. Great hole shot, and looks confident out in front as they hit the Supercross whoops for the first time.
You see, our current reigning champ Lawrence has been on fire lately, but he has yet to win.
Oh, down goes our race leader. Grant has dropped it just after LaRocco's lead. Look forward to that, and we look forward to the end of this race. Welcome back, everyone. Lee Diffie, Jeff Emig, and Aaron Bates with you from Redbud. The AMA Toyota Motocross Championship continues, and this young man, 18-year-old Ryan Villopoto, on his Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki to complete Moto 1. And Jeff, he would continue this extraordinary run. He has won every single opening moto of this year's AMA Toyota Motocross Championship. Sponsored by Monster Energy Kawasaki, he is on that bike, and he will take the checkered flag. Villopoto victorious at Redbud, and convincingly so. Moto 2 Motocross Lights. And it's the 2 Kawasaki boys up front. What a brutal.
That rider down in the first turn is Kyle Chisholm.
Is that Lawrence? That's Jason Lawrence who's down.
Yamaha there. It didn't seem like he had taken a spill.
And it's Townley out in front from Villopoto.
Rebounded, but in close to last place.
Missed the Moto 2. That's what Ben Townley is becoming known as.
You can see just how treacherous the track is at this point. There's lines all over the place as Villopoto just makes LaRocco's lead.
Seeing
it. Track going to be a little bit harder packed this moto, and some of that wet stuff on top. You see Townley's bike skating around coming into the first turn area.
Remember, whoever wins the second moto wins the overall. Villopoto is trying to join riders like our own Jeff Emig to win back-to-back.
So it's 100%, and he's got his game face on for this Moto number 2.
And Ben Townley's going to need it because Ryan Villopoto with the number 1 plate is using all different kinds of lines, searching for a passing spot here early in the second moto, trying to take that overall win.
Riders that are in contention for this title have a lot of work to do in Moto 2. Behind the Kawasaki boys, it's the rockstar Suzuki of Andrew McFarlane. He has bounced back from an unimpressive result. It's a real source of frustration for the Australian. He told me yesterday, he said, I just have to put 2 motos together. When I do well in one, I don't do well in the other. Look at Villopoto putting the pressure on his teammate.
Townley shuts the door, pitches him off. And we see Villopoto on the first lap try this outside line. He's not afraid.
Is he going to do LaRocco's lead? No, he gets shut down by Townley.
the stops and ride the wide line, using that extra momentum, but definitely twisting the throttle on that Kawasaki 250F.
Teammates, so what? Townley wasn't about to give him an easy passage by.
Well, I think that was a pretty clean move there. He just basically blocked the line. Now, is this going to be for Ben Townley? Is that little wake-up call that he might have needed to say, okay, I need to let it all hang out here in the second moto?
Poto on the one, though. Almost gets Townley on the inside. Now has he got the advantage, Jeff?
Townley's got the inside. Let's see if he can take advantage of that. Villopoto on the outside.
He has been trying to work something lap after lap, and finally it pays off for the championship leader. Villopoto in front. Now can Townley respond? This year's Motocross Lights Championship, and Villopoto almost a mistake, a definite mistake, but he hangs on to it.
Unreal. That was like he was riding a wild bull at that point, that he held on to it. That was a series of mistakes, and fortunately kept it on two wheels.
He's now running third.
Yeah, well outside of the top 10. Fantastic piece of riding for Grant, and his teammate, Jake Weimer, has rode up into the fourth position also. It was just a couple of seconds off of Grant.
It's a team affair.
Suzuki has 3, so we have a 3-way battle between the manufacturers for the most overall wins.
What about that for style? But we won't in about 3 corners time.
In about 3 corners,
Redbud. What a stellar weekend. He's cleaned them out. Fastest qualifier. Wins Moto 1. Wins Moto 2. Ryan Villopoto does it. And Redbud. It's a Kawasaki 1-2 yet again.
Well, you know, I didn't think the track was going to be this good, you know, in the first 2 practices this morning, because it was really one line and pretty muddy, but it really came around that second moto, and I can't thank the team enough, Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki and Jeff Fox and Parts Unlimited and Toyota of Escondido, you know, just everybody that's helped me out. Thanks.
Ryan Villopoto adding himself to the record books with back-to-back wins.
Cleaned them out. Fastest and the best in every session. And looking at the championship points, he is still the man to beat.
Finished with.
Well, yeah, I'm happy with the performance. Obviously, after yesterday and that, just being able to come back and even race today was good. So, but I'm a racer, you know. When the gate drops, I want to be out front, and didn't have it for Ryan today. You know, he rode really well, and just got to work on it a little bit more, I think.
Just goes to show you the passion and dedication that these guys have.
Those views. But this is the pressure zone. Moto 1 here at Unadilla for the Motocross Lights class. And look at that hole shot from Dungey. He blasts out of the grid.
Unbelievable jump right out of the gate. And here today at Unadilla, you can see the first moto of the lights. They put down a lot of water on the tracks, a little bit dry underneath, pretty wet on top. And
Ryan Dungey, what a way to return to the championship. Then Townley, then Villopoto, and Josh Grant. Superstar.
Ryan Dungey has been just unbelievable this season, being a rookie and coming out, and he's just been so good. And now coming off of that concussion from Redbud, extremely slippery in spots. See, the edges are a little bit drier. Right in the middle is where the water is right now.
Here comes Villopoto. He's been able to get away from Josh Grant, and he joins his Kawasaki teammate. He's down. Villopoto has dropped it on the opening lap.
So Ryan Villopoto has came out in Moto 1 with so much aggression, whereas the 101 of Ben Townley has been a little calmer and a little steadier as the day goes on.
Puts the move on Dungey around the outside. Steep drop off, and Dungey comes back.
Nice move by Ryan Dungey. And Townley gets by on the inside and then pushed a little wide, coming back up the U-turn, and that hill is so steep.
You know this place well. It's been described as America's most European track. Does that mean we can expect Townley to do well as he takes the lead back again?
I think so. This legendary track at Unadilla, it's such a grueling course, and I liked it how this track goes back and forth, so you're always working inside out when you're trying to pass.
Going on here, Josh Hill is in the mix. Villopoto, one side then the other. Gets Grant. Now Grant comes back. This is good lights racing. Good.
No, it's a left side radiator that got some of the coolant coming out. Could only speculate that fall on the first lap, when he fell on the left side when he spun out, that he might have caught the radiator shroud, ripped the radiator apart just a little bit. As tough as they make them, they're still pretty fragile.
I don't know, you know, before I even fell, I looked down and it had a hole in it, and I guess it was like blowing antifreeze all over, and I was seeing it smoking, and then I fell, and then then I could pull in and check it out, but who knows.
Points leader out of commission for this moto. We'll see him back for the second moto.
Pushed all the way to the checkered flag. Final stages of Moto 1, and it's a green affair. Checkered flag is out. Well done, Ben Townley, on board the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. We get set for Moto 2. Gates drop, here we go. Oh, 2 bikes down, 2 riders down, mid-pack.
Up after this race.
Race leader is Ryan Villopoto on the comeback trail after a DNF in the opening moto. And I feel a little for Brock Hepler. It's a bittersweet weekend, isn't moto, and he still is up front. Leads comfortably, but look at how tight it is for second. Dungey and Hill still going hard at it, but the question is, where is Ben Townley?
Come right back up, drag race, get over that little tabletop, and look at Townley, just timed it perfectly as he goes by Josh Grant.
Great move, Ben Townley. Picks one off, so now he moves up to 7th.
He's doing this with ease.
Gets another one from 8th to 6th in a quarter of a lap. He's the new championship leader for the lights class. He has not won an overall in the past 3 rounds and nails that move on Hill. How about that?
Yamaha had such a great first moto with Brock Hepler and Josh Hill, and now both these riders have had trouble in the second moto. So much work goes into that. A tough break for factory Yamaha.
Well, if Townley remains where he is in 3rd place behind Ryan Dungey, Villopoto takes the win. Jeff, they will leave here on their way to the next round, tied on points. Ryan Dungey will do wonders for his championship aspirations as well in position. He's playing the comeback game, remember, after Red Bud. Final lap for Villopoto as he styles it up. That gap to Ryan Dungey. This battle for second is heating up on the way to the checkered flag.
And Ben Townley knows how important these extra 2 points here, separation between 3rd and 2nd in the moto, that at the end of the season, when we get to Glen Helen, the championship could be decided by just a few points right now.
2nd away from Ryan Dungey.
And Townley's using every line possible. Not too much time left here in this moto.
Nothing between these 2 guys. Townley slipped slightly.
Tried to make the pass where he did on the first lap of the first moto. Dungey learned from him, kept a little more momentum. It's a drag race.
Both the Suzuki and the Kawasaki just laboring up the hill as Villopoto takes the win in Moto 2. It won't be enough to take the overall with that DNF in 1, and Dungey hangs on.
Well, I did the same thing, Ryan Dungey. I thought I won with the 2-2 in 91, but it wasn't the case.
And look at that. We couldn't ask for the points to be any better.
You know, I knew that I could have won the overall, but I was looking for the points for the championship. You know, that's what it's all about right now. And just bummed, man. I went down on that first lap. I hit Boniface in the back. He stopped in a turn and couldn't do anything about it. I fell over and just had to make my way back through from there. And it was a pretty decent ride.
Moto number 1 here in Lakewood, Colorado. As the gate dropped, keep your eyes out for Chris Gosler.
Well, and the ever so powerful Pro Circuit race team, known for having the fastest machines out on the track, it gets another hole shot where horsepower seems to be sparse
as they go by. That's got to be a scary moment.
Well, it is, especially when you get hit in the back. And Jason Lawrence, I believe, doesn't wear a back protector, so I think it was real fortunate that he didn't have any injury there.
Villopoto and Townley going at it, running around and over each other.
Yeah, and Villopoto was just going for it at that point. Went over the barriers on the inside of the track there.
Both of them trying to chase Grant down at this point. Villopoto on the inside. Remember, he's got the red number 1 plate for the national championship in this class last year. Townley with
a harder clay surface, but the track promoters of Thunder Valley really did a great job at the track this year.
And there's a mistake that cost Townley 2nd place.
Just so aggressive in that opening moto each and every round.
And then a little further on into the moto, and Villopoto catches and passes Metcalf.
That's where Villopoto went around the outside of him. Ben Townley makes the exact same move.
So Townley getting around Grant. That puts Grant back to 5th, number 1. And Townley would battle all the way back to second before the moto. And it looks like Villopoto is going to get the whole
up there when you don't get that good start, and that's why it's always an AMA motocross competition so important to get the whole shot, keep them goggles clean, have a successful second moto.
Townley and Grant running second and third.
Or even the races in the future. Helps build that extra little bit of confidence.
You know, if it wasn't for the two Monster Pro Circuit guys, Josh Grant would be having a heck of a season.
I tell you, he would have won a lot of motos here, but, you know, that's the deal. Everybody lines up, and these are the guys that you have to beat. He keeps getting another ride because of his work ethic and because of his determination. But at one point or another, you have to win racing, you have to win championships to keep that going.
He is definitely a determined young man as we watch Villopoto now fighting through those ruts with Townley closing in.
Talk about determination this year.
Villopoto out in front of Ben Townley here in moto number 2. Starting to get offline a little bit there too.
I'll tell you, I really like the way Ben Townley
continues to chase him. They are tied dead even in the point standings. Villopoto trying to hold on to the championship he won last year. Townley trying to take it away from him.
And these riders locked up in points. They ride the same bike right for the same race team, wear the same gear, helmet, goggles, all that, but they're two very distinct riders. You watch Ryan Villopoto, he's a little bit shorter than Ben Townley, and he seems to ride with all this aggression. And when you watch him, it seems like he is letting it all hang out. He finds his speed from finding more comfort, okay? So the more that he stands on the bike.
Oh, down goes Villopoto, and right in front of Townley.
And that could be another one of those situations where Ryan Villopoto is just letting it hang out, just really on the gas, trying to gain that extra little bit out. And he doesn't like to give up any wins, especially when he's battling for a championship with his teammate here. This is going to be a good race. Jason Lawrence is that, you know, these guys have been very controversial in their passes and in their behavior on the track.
And that one goes to Villopoto. He finally gets around Grant and puts a little bit of distance and a rider between him and Jason Lawrence. The rest of the guys something to deal with up there.
I'll tell you, that is a great feeling right now, coming past the finish line, both arms in the air. Victorious Ben Townley.
Checkered flag waves in front of Ben Townley for the 4th time this year, and the championship stays incredibly hot.
What went on out there?
Yeah, I just came in there and washed out the first time, and then he got up and I was trying to put in a charge and came down there again and just stuffed the front wheel in a rut and I just fell over. With my DNF, it put a wrench in the program. Yeah, I need to keep the mistakes down and hopefully I can be up front and get some points back. So we're tied again.
Well, and here are those points. As you take a look at it now, they went from 263 to 310, but they're still tied.
Yeah, it's cool. I've got mum and dad here, nana and grandpa, my auntie. It's awesome, man. It's so cool to have them all here and to get a win, on a day when they're here is pretty cool. So, man, it was Ryan and I, we're on the limit. We're both riding really hard and mistakes happen when we're going that fast. So just got to say thanks to the whole Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki team. They do a great job and, it's a pleasure to ride for them.
A highlighted look at the action from the opening moto of the day as the gate dropped and the racers headed for turn number 1. Makita Suzuki rider on bike number 62 out front on that yellow Suzuki. When the rest of the pack comes charging after him, including that number 1.
You're getting pelted. The dirt here at Washougal, pretty hard base.
Villopoto around the outside, taking the lead away from Dungey. And you can see coming along in third, here comes...
Along with Josh Hill, gets that big motivation, that big boost from the crowd. They love to see one of their guys out here winning this Lights motocross event. Well, I think Washougal is one of those tracks where the local knowledge really plays into it, and Villopoto just was on fire once again in the first moto. Just Townley, he wasn't going to catch him, but Townley did what he needed to do for the championship, and that was finish right in there.
Moto obviously feeding off the frenzied fans. He takes the win in moto number 1.
Washougal MX Park, one of the more scenic tracks on the circuit. I always really enjoyed riding here, and that this track is so difficult. This year they built these up. These things are more like jumps, so they're going to the outside trying to find a little more drive and momentum entering that section.
I'm not even sure Villopoto's inside the top 10.
Villopoto has came out with a great start.
But Jeff, Villopoto's all the way back in 20th position.
20th position. Now here at Washougal, it's a little bit hard to pass, but can Ryan Villopoto use some of that local knowledge and the years of and race after race as an amateur here?
Villopoto on the number 1. Of course, he has the red number plate since he is the reigning national champion, trying to work his way through the field. It's Hepler and Townley. Hepler in the blue and white Yamaha. Oh, Townley around the outside. Here he comes. And that's a beautifully done, nice, clean pass for the lead, Jeff. He's lead coming into round 8 here today. Townley leading in moto number 2. Villopoto won moto number 1, but he's buried deep in the pack. There he is. You already saw Townley, who's out in front of Brock Hepler. And it looks like Villopoto has gotten around Jason Lawrence.
In classic Villopoto style, he is just on the gas, feet flying off right now. Looks like he's getting an extra triple in there. Not quite enough to get past Rodriguez.
His teammate Chris Gosler is coming up as well on the 102. There he is. And Robert Canary on the 54. Whoa, boy.
And look at Villopoto. He is just trying every line available, inside, outside. It doesn't matter. The top 3 riders. These guys are really racing hard. They want this moto win. Ben Townley's going to do what he has to do to get this moto win. He's been so good in the second moto. It's because he's been so steady.
For Gosler on the 102, and here comes Villopoto.
And in a moto like this, the mechanic and the signals that you get, as Villopoto just picks off his team forward.
Villopoto working his way towards the top 10. He's 9th now, trying to get 8th away from Canary, and does so. Away from Brock Hepler. Villopoto is now up to 7th and closing.
7th place, and he was way back off the start.
There. Townley flying through the air. Family and friends came over and surprised him. 4th.
On the first lap, not sure what the problem was, why he started so far back, but what an incredible ride.
There's Dungey right alongside and past Hepler. Now can Brock counter?
It's going to be tough for Brock Hepler to put on any sort of charge because without his goggles, to see how he looked away right there. Just an incredible effort.
Oh, but there's a great move. What a strong move by Hepler.
He set that up, just worked the outside in, and it's a drag race.
Boy, they're still dead even. Great action here. And Dungey. Meanwhile, Townley pulls, oh boy, and Hepler just stands him up.
Yeah, he stood him up. He kept it pretty clean, but he needed to get that little bit of stoppage from Dungey. Whoa, that could have been bad. Dungey just hitting a kicker coming down the peristyle. 4th now after winning the first moto. It's going to be pretty tight for the podium spots.
Oh, man, look at Hepler. Look at this.
They're playing a little cat and mouse here. Hepler getting back by.
And Villopoto don't
make a lot of mistakes here. 2 mistakes just in the last 5 seconds. But what an incredible ride to still be battling.
And there goes Dungey by again. I don't know if Hepler has anything left.
It's going to be tough in some of these sections. Hepler cannot take on any roost like this. Watch him through here. Replay of last lap. He could win both motos. You've been the fastest rider. He is letting it all hang out. And also he knows that his teammate that he is battling tooth and nail for the championship is the guy that's up there in first position, taking 25 valuable championship points.
And of course is Ben Townley.
All of these guys, all of these riders in the lights class in such great physical condition. The 30 minutes plus 2 laps, doing it twice a day is no problem for him.
And there is third place for Villopoto.
So fast all day, and I'm telling you, he is in the moment right now.
Oh, down goes Villopoto. Oh, man.
Just as I start to talk about how focused Ryan Villopoto is, he has a huge get off, and look at that, he's going to get back on the bike. So fortunate that he didn't suffer an injury there. If he did, he's putting it out of his mind, and he's going to finish this race off.
And look what happens.
And right here, he loses traction, and then there's a small kicker. Unbelievable crash. We've seen the same crash out of Travis, really to be admired. Let's take a look at Hepler here. Remember a few laps ago we talked about there was some white smoke coming out of that muffler on his bike the whole weekend to achieve that. And I tell you, if you're Ryan Dungey, you got to be pretty nervous right now, but he has been so strong all year. He's got Villopoto breathing down.
Slower riders in front of him too. Boy, they've caught. Townley's going to take the win, and at the checkers, it's just Ryan Dungey by about a bike length over Villopoto. And the best news for Dungey is that was the last lap.
What an incredible ride for all three of these riders.
That you left on the table.
You know, I felt good today, but you know, I just have to bring my speed up, man. I really want to battle with those guys out front, like one-on-one with everybody. But you know, me and Johnny Mayer working hard. Just think hard work's the key, and keep doing it. So just trying to bring up my speed a little bit, and hopefully in a few years here I'll be on top.
Proud today.
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, the first moto went well, and just came back to the second motor to do the same, but fell in the first turn, and then you know, got up, and I could see you know, catching them fast, and I figured I had them, and I just pushed in a spot where I should have eased down a little bit, and crashed, and again, so I just had to come back from that.
Well, when the gate dropped and Villopoto was in 20th and Townley was up challenging for the lead, it looked like the points gap after round 8 would be huge.
It's great, you know, I came in here looking to do that, and you know, Ryan made a mistake, and I'll take it today. You know, I wasn't at my best, and felt like I was doing what I needed to do. So I'm happy to come out of here with the points lead. So just a bonus, pretty much.
Something to prove here today.
Here we go from Millville. Going to be the number 1 of Villopoto. Actually, it's Townley. I saw Metcalf get a good start, though. He's not too far back, but Townley is going to be the late race leader, getting the whole shot.
All right, Ralph. Now, who wants this championship at this point? You see both these guys. They know, oh, Villopoto's got the line on the outside.
Oh, but boy, he almost carried that rear wheel a little too far there, didn't he?
Yeah, but these guys are so intense at this point. Both these guys, former champions in one discipline or another. This Lights Championship is heated up at this.
Back to the action. There's Villopoto and Townley and Josh Grant on the Honda, number 24, rides along in second, or third, I should say. And that's the only rider outside of the 2 pro circuit riders to win a moto this year.
They're going to come back through.
Well, the action getting underway here at Millville. The clock ticking down. Just over 16 minutes plus 2 laps left to go here in Moto 1 for the MOTOCROSS Lights.
That's right, and the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki riders once again, wheel to wheel. These guys are battling for the championship. I'll tell you what, looking at the track here today, you guys wouldn't know how much rain and how bad of thunder and lightning storms this area has had. And the fact that when you're kind of getting towards the championship there, points starting to add up. That's when you start to see a little light at the end of the tunnel. And for me, there was usually, pretty good memories here.
Villopoto trying to make some good memories right now. He's been leading this one since the gate dropped just about. And
even though Ryan Villopoto has 9 moto wins. These riders are starting to get into traffic here. And like I said, the track's in great shape, but some of the outer edges of the track are going to be, pretty soft, pretty wet.
Mistake, lose the positions, lose the points lead. And look at this, Townley now applying the pressure as the crowd gets into it.
And At this point, it's much easier to be the rider in second right now. You're the aggressor. You're sitting there watching everything happen. You just seen him make a mistake. Time to strike right now.
Townley looking inside. He's got it.
Villopoto just pulled up, Ralph. He pulled up going up the hill. I don't know what the deal was there. He pulled out of the way and let Ben Townley by.
And he kind of mounts a bit of a challenge back, Jeff, but not anything overly aggressive.
I'm not sure why he would do that. It doesn't seem like that there's any problem with the bike or anything. Townley has any special part of the track that he's working on.
Well, he's got to feel pretty confident to be able to do that, because you sure don't want to give up the position.
It's definitely an interesting move, and maybe we won't know until after the race if we get a comment from Ryan on that. But right now, I'm telling you, Ben Townley's got to be feeling real good.
Ben Townley out front. Ryan Villopoto runs in second, and Brett Metcalf in third. Take you back now and show you what you meant. For Townley, it will be his 7th moto win. And the checkered flag waves for Ben Townley.
Action on that rear tire.
Letitia moves the 32nd board away, and here we go. Moto 2 underway.
This is after a crash and an injured arm in the first moto.
And here's Ben Townley inside, saying, hope you enjoyed your time. Now it's my turn. I got a championship to win. Brett Metcalf is with him. And where's Villopoto?
Ben Townley out in front now. Ryan Villopoto is going to have to get through some pretty tough customers on his way to the front if he's going to catch his teammate Ben Townley.
There's Villopoto.
Working on Kyle Cunningham. Love watching this kid ride like this because he just lets it all hang out. And he has such an aggressive riding style, and he is not afraid to charge into a turn, to get it on the back tire. He goes for it.
There's no doubt that Ryan Villopoto will give you everything he's got. Across Lights event in Millville, Minnesota, he has caught the race leader, Ben Townley. There he is in second on the number 1. Townley, and the pace at what he is racing has just been incredible. And here he goes on the outside.
He's got the drive on the outside, Ralph. Let's see if he can make it stick.
Remember, he let him go by him in moto number 1 to watch his lines. Maybe he did learn something. He's right around alongside, not giving either one of any inch, but not taking each other out. What a spectacular piece of racing between two teammates with great respect for each other.
I cannot believe first moto, Villopoto let him by. Ben Townley caught Villopoto, was all over him. Villopoto pulled out of the way. Strange move, never seen that before. Now the second moto, Villopoto is definitely dialed in. And look, Ben Townley just made a mistake. He is part.
Nobody expected this when the gate dropped.
As we watched him roll through the pack, we just seen how focused and determined Ryan Villopoto is. Now let's see if Ben Townley can raise that energy level and raise that intensity here. Millville. And remember, Ben Townley has been Mr. Second Moto, okay? He has been the strongest at the end of these races. But right now it looks like Ryan Villopoto is really putting it down.
California, but he as well is looking for a piece of property in Texas to try to up that level. Same thing like Lake Whitney at amateurs. He did really well with the heat and the humidity there, hoping that the Texas environment will definitely help as far as conditioning goes.
Ryan Villopoto is really charging hard. See him almost making a little mistake there. Ben Townley's going to have to get on the gas here the second moto.
Well, let's go back and see how this one began as we go back into the wins this year today. Could this be the kind of ride that at the end of the championship you look back and you go, that might have been a turning point?
Yeah, but like we seen that first moto, it was so unorthodox for him to pull out of the way and let his teammate by.
The last lap.
And And you see just behind her, the 101 of Ben Townley, who won our first moto convincingly. Villopoto finished tied in points today, with Villopoto getting the overall. Townley will still have the edge by 2 points in the championship.
And Villopoto will get that overall because of the better finish in moto number 2.
Yes.
This afternoon here at Spring Creek. For Ryan Villopoto, it will be his 10th moto win, his 3rd overall victory in the 2007 season, and he has done it here at Millville. But it worked, and the championship chase gets even tighter.
What you just pulled out.
Yeah, you know, just didn't have it there the first moto, and let Ben by to see what he was doing. And I don't know if it helped me that first moto, but I think it might have gave me a little bit of edge for you know, for the second moto, and made a little bit of change to the bike, and it was awesome. You know, I just can't thank enough to the team, MOTOCROSS, Kawasaki, and Jeff Fox at Parts Unlimited.
Everything you did it right. And this guy right here, Ben Townley. Ben, a little bit of look of surprise, a little frustration and disappointment as you came up onto the podium. What went wrong?
I don't know, you know, Ryan rode a great race, you know, can't take anything away from him. He came up there and we battled for a bit and he pulled away, so, you know, it's so close. We're going fast out there, you know, and I don't want to go down, but I want to keep gaining those points, so looking for a little bit more. But the whole, so cool to have Brad up here, you know, he's been out with an injury, and to have him back and be on the podium, man, Mitch and Bones and Aaron and Zach and my mechanic Craig and all the guys, you know, John and Java do a good job, so yeah, no, it's cool.
Another guy who had some tough luck yesterday during practice, but the second practice of the day was the number 1 of Ryan Villopoto. That's right, he's contending for this championship right now. On the ground, we found him. He ended up brushing it off, getting himself up quite quickly once again, remounting the bike, but ended up having to see the chiropractor first thing this morning to do some extensive therapy on it.
Now watch the start. As we get to turn number 1, Austin Stroop making his debut, cuts across the field and takes out Villopoto, Townley, and just about half the field.
Fans are really responding.
Townley battling his way back from last place on the 101. The points leader.
You see, second position.
Halfway through the race, and all of a sudden Ryan Villopoto, who was involved in that first corner crash, found himself back to 5th.
Riders came flying through the pack with incredible amount of speed. And look here, Josh Grant makes a wrong decision, gets stuck behind the lap rider. Ryan Villopoto goes flying by on the outside.
Which becomes the inside in another corner. And the next thing you know, Villopoto's in 3rd, looking at a podium position. Ben Townley, his day just went from bad to worse.
And I think what happens here, Ralph, is he comes down through them deep mud ruts, and he got some mud stuck in the rear brake. The bike just came to a complete stop, kicks it loose, and he has to do this big donut to get back on the track.
Kepler goes on to win the moto, and Villopoto almost got 2nd, but Austin Stroop takes that position, and Villopoto at least gets on the podium.
Stroop, Villopoto right there in a row, and great job for Townley and Grant, everybody to get up in that first turn crash. Where the gate drops go.
That they do. Oh, trouble for Renner.
Like Renner is having to go off the track through the banners a little bit, and Ryan Villopoto steals the whole shot this time.
And it looks like Tommy Hahn's right behind
the championship, but this is what you have to do when you want to win the championship. You have to get that whole shot and check out.
That's Metcalf on the next Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki. So it looks like Townley's going to be somewhere outside the top 5. And one thing he doesn't want to allow, there he is right there. That's got to put him right about 6th position. 4th, I guess, at this point. You just can't allow Villopoto to sneak away as tight as his spite is. Oh, down goes Townley. 2 riders by.
Townley just washes the front wheel. I thought the track had dried out a little bit by now, was getting a little more traction, but that was the same place that in the first moto that Brock Hepburn
in this class. He came into the day trailing his teammate by 2 points. However, after moto number 1, he is now retaken the points lead. And Jeff, he has a chance here through moto number 2 if he can hold on and win this to really open up what little bit of a lead anybody has seen this year.
In the season during the Supercross Championship, and so now at this point, there's all this energy that's built up, and they've trained for so many months to prepare, and now closing in on the end of the series, the end of the racing year, these guys are really letting it all hang out.
Oh, and Osborne goes down.
Osborne really drove it deep into one of those ruts, Ralph, and that's an off camber, so everything, all the riders, they start high and they fade down into that mud rut. That's the race, his race, do the best he can, because he's fighting for a ride for next year also.
Well, he just lost the position to Townley, and now Townley goes after Tommy Hahn. Wow, Townley up to 4th. Jeff, he could end up on the podium here.
Are extremely strong,
as they have been all year. And Townley now has 3rd.
That second moto at Millville, just before this round, the momentum shift had gone into Villopoto's hand, gone his way. And it looks like he's taking advantage of that here today.
Taking the overall, won moto number 1. Struggled to get the bike to start. Now it starts. Too late to do anything.
Too little, too late. Unbelievable.
And Austin Stroop having a pretty good weekend as well. Oh, boy, Villopoto, this one isn't over yet. All the way to the checkered flag, he keeps it interesting. But he's done it. Ryan Villopoto wins moto number 2.
You know, I love these conditions. It was kind of like Mount Morris, you know, these nice ruts and all the turns. And, man, I cocked up the first race again and came out. I was ready to go in that second one. You know, I crashed on the first lap right here behind us, and I'm bummed. You know, that was my moto to lose that one, and I lost it. So I had the speed, you know. I was as fast as Ryan, if not faster for sure, and I was pacing him out there. So he's got to come out swinging next week, man. We've got 6 points to make up now.
That he does. If you take a look at the points, remember he was 2 points in front, so it was an 8-point swing.
Again. Yeah, I didn't start out very good along with the rain, and well, I guess the crash and then the rain, and you know, we didn't see it was going to be like a very good weekend, and track turned out good. You know, they did a lot of maintenance to it, and it made it well, and just can't thank my team enough. MOTOCROSS, Kawasaki, Mom and Dad, and Jeff Fox, Parts Limited, Toyota Escondido, and just everybody. Thanks.
Idea. As they did that, Brock Kepler and Martin Davalos took off and put on quite a battle for the lead.
And one thing to look at, Ralph, is that the first turn here is a right-hand first turn. It's hard to get on the brakes in AMA Motocross Championship.
Then Townley and Ryan Villopoto got off to a terrible start, but that's Townley on the ground on the right on the number 101. Ben would end up working his way back into the points after starting from dead last once he got going again.
Riding well of late, but it is so hard to stop a man like Ryan Villopoto that is just on a mission, and he is focused on winning that championship. He has all the momentum here at the end of the series.
Villopoto went on to win the moto. Well, here's a look at our Toyota Trucks results from moto number 1. So Villopoto takes the win. Where's his title contender? Town Sky Cam. He's going to start to the inside of the doghouse as we go towards turn 1. Out front with the whole shot. Where's Townley?
We got Trey Kennard in second also. Great start by the rookie.
It looks like Townley's in the top 5.
Oh yeah, 3 riders, Kennard, Izzy, and Stroop, have just came in to this class here with a lot of speed, a lot of determination, and their fitness and all of that seems to be in place also, which is a true testament to amateur motocrossing with that also, and it's a true testament to their character.
Well, he finally gets around Kennard, and now Ben Townley will go after Brock Kepler, trying to reel in Ryan Villopoto.
Oh yeah, Ben Townley's letting it all hang out here as he slips past Kepler, taking second place. Townley, you can see, is just a man on a mission. Momentum's not in their favor. They're the guy that the banners pick up, get on the rear brake rotor, you lose your rear brake, moto over.
Could have been disastrous.
This is that sand whoop section. That's actually a man-made sand whoop section. They actually brought in a lot of sandy soil, and he's just flawless. You know, he just seems so strong on the bike, and that's what you have to do at this time of the season.
Unfortunately for Ben Townley, however, the wheels started to come off the wagon. Not completely. He's hung in there, Jeff, but not exactly where he needs to be, because sitting second isn't going to get the job done.
Maybe a mechanical, something of the sort.
Tough break. Well, his teammates are running first and second. Ryan Villopoto and Ben Townley. That'll move Brock Kepler to third, Davalos up to fourth. Looking forward to it. Ryan Villopoto celebrating a win here in Texas as he makes his way through the big sand whoop section for the final time. Sure, he'll be happy to see that in the rearview mirror for a while.
Oh yeah, he's glad to have them sand whoops behind him. Great race by Ryan Villopoto here today.
Checkered flag here in Texas.
I don't know, man. You know, I just tripped myself up there, really. You know, the first moto I got out to a great start and went down just in the back in some mud and had to fight my way back through the pack, and it was just tough, you know, making life hard on myself, really. So got out better in the second one. You know, the MotoMG Pro Circuit Kawasaki's are fast. You know, everyone on our team, Scott, Bridgestone, Vans, Alpine Stars, Thor, Parts Unlimited, you know, just the whole team for all their help. They're doing a great job.
It's obvious a bit of a blow to your confidence heading into the very last round, but what is it that you're going to bring to the table coming into Glen Helen?
Just like I do every weekend, go out and go and try and win. You know, it's tough, you know, to finish second, but I want to win, you know, and can do whatever it takes.
Well, points, Jeff, look like this with 1 round, 2 motos left to go.
Yeah, there's a considerable gap there between Villopoto and Townley.
Yeah, you know, the first moto didn't get the start I wanted to, and switched it up, went to the very inside, and got the whole shot. You know, it helped out a lot. Just had clear track, and was able to do what I could do. And I can't thank the team enough. MotoCross Circuit Kawasaki, Jeff Fox and Parts Unlimited, Toyota Escondido, Mom and Dad, and Grandma and Grandpa.
1 round left to go. Obviously, the confidence is high right now. What do you do when you go back home?
You know, I don't really know. Just you know, don't want to take it easy, but you know, just want to you know, just keep what I have and go into Glen Helen just to, you know, maintain what I have, and that's it.
Moto number 1, which has already been run here today. There's a look at the man on top of the points, trying to hang on to that number 1, Ryan Villopoto, getting out to an early lead, but coming along with him was Ben Townley.
Turns a big sweeper straight up the hills. Glen Helen this year, they added a lot of hills into this track. It was tough.
Townley was certainly not going to just let Villopoto walk away with this one.
No, not at all. He has put up a great fight all season. Both of these riders really battled hard for that championship.
Championship home. And here in moto number 1, mistakes again would cost Ben Townley.
Once Townley here has the line, makes a small mistake, loses his balance. Both the Pro Circuit riders, this is the steepest, gnarliest, roughest hill on the track. Just absolute drag race to the top. And the champion comes out on top. MOTOCROSS event this weekend.
Back up front, total feeling of weightlessness as he flies over the hills here in Glen Helen. And Ryan Villopoto would go on to take the win from Ben Townley and extend the points lead even further.
To win the championship.
So moto number 1 goes to Ryan Villopoto. That much closer to holding on to that number 1 plate for the final moto, ready to get underway. Championship on the line. Villopoto, there you see him with the red number 1 on the outside. He's back and forth. And basically finishes this race in comfortable fashion.
Well, both of our championship contenders with great starts, doing what they have to do to stay out of trouble.
Problems for the 60th Hepburn. He's off course.
In the championship when we were so close all the way through until we got to Texas. But right now he's going, okay, I'm going to go out. I'm going to finish this series up right. I'm going to try to take this win and then let everything else sort itself out. And if it's to be, then it's to be.
Villopoto now moves up to 3rd as he gets around his teammate Brett Metcalf.
Villopoto here, when they land off this, it's all they got and then a little bounce. If they could get another 10 feet, they could land that jump nice and smooth.
Villopoto really closing in. Kennard with a bobble. And Villopoto finds himself in 2nd as Townley launches off another hillside. Townley out front, hoping that something will happen behind him that will allow this effort to win moto number 2 to pay off huge dividends. Ben Townley starting to catch up to some of the slower riders.
Getting into some of the lappers. It's got to be a really tough position here for Ben Townley because unless something bad happens to his teammate Villopoto, his championship has slipped away. But he's doing what he has to do in this final moto, going out one last time, going for the win. Maybe a slight chance of winning that championship, but Ryan Villopoto's been pretty solid. Can't count on that. and that midway through the season, when Ryan had the rock in the radiator at Unadilla, and just really just took the wind out of his sails. And so Randy said that he worked extra hard during the week to keep Ryan focused and to not give up hope. And what he wanted to do was make his days during the week harder than the weekends, where he looked forward to going to the race because that would be the easy day of the week.
Apparently it worked.
Well, he definitely stayed focused. He kept his head in it and kept charging all the way through. And just a couple of weeks ago, this championship was locked up here at the end of this championship.
Down these big hills one more time. Ryan Villopoto won the West Coast Championship in the Supercross Lights class earlier this year. And now the Motocross Lights Championship to go with it for a second year. Really have a lot to celebrate. Checkered flag for the Moto win to Ben Townley on a fine effort here in Moto number 2, but the championship and second place is going to go to this man. Ryan Villopoto will be the 2007 AMA Toyota Motocross Lights champion. And the first man to congratulate him, the man who battled him all year long, Ben Townley. Well, there's your Moto winner and your reigning champ.
You know, I gave it my all. I can't say I didn't do that. I just made a few mistakes at the end of the season. It cost me bad. I said I wanted to take this championship fight all the way to Glen Helen, and I did. It's just a huge improvement on last year. Really happy about that, but it's always hard to lose a championship when you come so close.
What does it mean this season to go out the way you did opposed to last season?
It is good, you know. It feels great. I won a Supercross title, and I've been in this motocross hunt the whole year, and whole pro circuit, Monster Energy, Kawasaki team have been great. Everyone involved, Paul, Parts Unlimited, Bridgestone, Alpine Stars, Scott, just a great team of people, and you know, I'll be moving on now. I just want to say thanks to Mitch for giving me an awesome opportunity to live my dream. It's been a great ride.
Congratulations on a successful season.
Thanks very much.
Well, Ryan, you've worked really hard this year. You've really done a good job. You had a little setback in Unadilla. You came back through, and there you go. Probably the best prize that anyone's ever given you this year, because I gave you one last year. There you go, bud.
Ryan, defending champion, coming in this year, you knew you had your work cut out for you. How much tougher was it to defend this title than it was last year to win it?
You know, I definitely think it was tougher. Everybody said it was, and you know, I think it really is. And you know, with the points that I had the lead, and then I had the DNF at Unadilla, that set me back a little bit, and just had to come back through that, and I couldn't have done it without you know, my whole team, MOTOCROSS, Kawasaki, and Jeff Fox, Parts Unlimited, Mitch Payton, you know, my grandma and grandpa, my cousin Spencer, my mom and dad, and you know, my mechanic John, my trainer Randy Lawrence, and you know, just everybody on the team. They just put so much effort in it, and I'm just glad to repay them with this.
What does it mean to you to have the camaraderie that you have with Ben Townley and out there racing against him?
Yeah, you know, from the beginning I knew that we were going to be racing till the end, and you know, Ben's a strong rider and racer, and you know, we definitely put on some good races this year, and it made it great for everybody to watch. And you know, I think he's going to be riding 450 next year on outdoors, and then, you know, I'll see him there in '09.